the Bossman show here with Tom Allen, coach of Indiana Hoosiers out of the Big Ten, currently 7-2 on a bye week this week. Talking to us this week on his bye week. Thank you for that, Coach Allen. How things up there in Indiana, man?
Well, I tell you what, kids are playing really hard. It feels great to be 7-2 for the first time in many, many years, and kids have just bought in. What we're building here, it's been a process. This is year 3 for us, but just really proud of the effort, the toughness, and the grit that our team has shown here this season.
You guys kind of hit some of my points I want to talk to you about, Coach. What do you feel like your greatest accomplishment been so far in year 3, for taking up to 17 as a full-time head coach? So what do you feel has been like your greatest accomplishment for the program thus far?
Well, to me, it's been just a systematic process of getting these players to believe. We're playing in a very, very difficult conference. Our the Eastern Division of the Big Ten is one of the top in the whole country with perennial powers, Ohio State, Michigan State, and Penn State in our own side of the division. So to be able to get to the point where you're winning 7+ games a season is challenging, and that's where we put this program right now. We've got 4 games left, including our bowl game. So many opportunities here to be able to increase that number and just change the culture, So we had a huge road win at Nebraska to give us our 6th win, just to be able to beat them at their place since 1959. So you're talking about a lot of years of being able to create change, and we're really doing things that haven't happened in Indiana since the early 90s, So it's an exciting time for us, and our kids have bought in. They've continued to do the little things we've asked them to do each and every day, and then they're seeing the results on the field.
Yes, Steve, one more comment about the culture. In year 1, year 2, you fell in that foundation, but this year really took it off a real great 7 wins. So how did you and your staff really go about attacking, building that solid culture you want to have for your team and your program going forward?
Well, it's taken a lot of one-on-one time with our players. Recruiting is a big part of it, building relationships with our current players, building relationships with recruits and their families, and getting guys to come here that can make a difference on the field. And then once you get them here, it's about creating a culture where we call it LEO, which stands for love each other. We want a team full of guys that don't care who gets the credit, because it's not about themselves. And when you get a group of guys that are unselfish and truly play for one another and work hard for one another and invest in something bigger than themselves, something special can happen. And then that's what's happened here at IU, and our guys are being rewarded with a lot of success on the field for buying in and being very unselfish on a consistent basis off the field.
And, Coach, you got some guys from right here in our backyard here in Atlanta. First, I want to talk to you about is Mr. Ball on defense there. I mean, that guy's been playing well for you. Talk about what he's been to your team on defense so far.
Well, Marcino Ball has been just such a really good player for us from day one. He started as a true freshman my first year here, and just continues to be a playmaker for us. He's big, strong, physical guy that can run, and just is such a unique skill set. He plays what we call the Husky position, which is our hybrid outside linebacker, nickel safety type guy that we bring off the edge to rush the passer, to be able to be athletic enough to cover man-to-man, a slot receiver in the Big Ten, and also be able to stop the run as an outside hang player. So he's just his skill set is very, very versatile, which is really, really helpful for us. And he just works his tail off. I mean, he's so strong in the weight room and works so hard in that weight room that he's been a really big part of this turnaround.
You got there, right? You also got another guy, a 5th-year guy, Andre Brown, defensive back as well, right out of Decatur, Georgia here. I know having a guy, a 5th-year guy, is very key to a program trying to make a change here. Having a guy who's been through those battles already has to be key to be on your team right there. Having a guy like that, a 5th-year guy with you already.
There's no question. Andre has been such a huge part of the turnaround as well, because he was here before I got here, and then now as the 5th-year guy, he's really elevated his off season this past year was the best it's ever been since he's been here, and he's playing his best football right now. We got him at multiple spots. He plays corner. He plays our rover position, which is the field safety, in our cheetah package, which is our 3rd down package, and is a great corner as well. So just he can cover man to man. He can tackle extremely well. He's a big guy. 200-pound corner, which is very, very important to have in this league with all the big receivers we play against, and his leadership has been really good, and his impact and be able to affect his teammates and his other corners and safeties in the area he beats in is very, very important to us. So really, really proud of Andre Brown and how he's really become a leader on this team.
And you got this young guy like Coach Miles Marshall, 6'4" guy, Lilburn, Georgia, right up the road up there in Gwinnett County there, Coach. He's made some plays for you already this year. I can imagine big things for him coming sophomore, junior year for you guys offensively for sure.
Oh, there's no doubt. Miles Marshall out of Parkview High School there in Lilburn, as you mentioned, is just, man, we think he's got so much upside. He redshirted as a freshman, which was really good for his development. He's got to play quite a bit this year, already making plays. He's positioned himself to be a really, really good receiver for us here as a sophomore, junior, senior. Like you said, he's got 3 more years left, but very smooth. He's got good length. Got a really good work ethic, comes from a great family, and we're just really proud of Miles and how he's progressed. And like you said, all those guys from your area, man, and we love to recruit the whole Atlanta area, and we got guys out of South Georgia as well. We just they've been a special part of our program, and we love to recruit the South because those guys love to play football, they love to compete, and they've come here and helped Indiana change this program.
And you kind of mentioned, Coach, I know a lot of guys from South Georgia, Florida as well. So I'm like, Indiana was in the Big Ten. You're getting great talent down here. And I'm trying to tell young men, Coach, who live down here that, hey, there's more than just Georgia and Georgia Tech here. There's schools like Indiana where guys go play it, and it's comfortable. The guys know relationships with the coaches down here already who will help get you in there if you have the right fit for that university head coach. So I try to tell guys all the time, Coach, hey, there's more to it than schools here in Georgia for sure.
There's no doubt. You get a chance to play in the Big Ten, one of the top conferences in the country, and get a world-class education. And also, like you said, you got so many guys from South on our team. We have 26 from Florida alone. We've got a whole bunch of guys from Georgia. We got guys from Tennessee and on up into the Carolinas. We just recruit the whole country. We just want to find guys that fit with us, and we're all about relationships. It's about faith and family in our program, and we're doing a great job of building those relationships with the families from the South, and they're able to come here and reach their goals and accomplish great things in the classroom and on the football field. So it's been a really special relationship for us to have down there in your neck of the woods.
Now, Coach, what were the keys at Northwestern win, Coach? It was a great win for you guys. What were the keys there win over those guys? It's like you guys played it well in every phase of the game there.
Well, I tell you what, you're right. It was our most complete game, all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams. We started fast, executed at a high level on all 3 of those phases, and then Northwestern won the Big Ten West last year, and most of that team was back. And so they're a very big, physical, disciplined football team that plays a really good ball for Coach Fitzgerald. And so it was very important for us to play at a high level. We took the ball away from them, so we got 3 takeaways on defense, which I thought was huge. We had 0 turnovers on offense, so we were +3 the turnover ratio. And then we created explosive plays. Their defense has been really, really highly ranked all season long, so we were able to take advantage of our very effective pass game. And Stevie Scott, our big running back, was able to go for 120 yards and 3 touchdowns. So I really thought it was a very, very solid performance for us in all 3 areas and gave us our 7th win of the season and our 5th 10 win.
Now, Coach, I know you're having a bye week, but do you feel like on some of you wish you could play again next week, keep this train going a little bit faster here and count the last week's great game?
There's no doubt. It's kind of you love the bye because your players need the break and need the rest and all that. But, man, we got so much momentum right now that we just got in the ranked top 25 in the ESPN poll, and it's just a great thing for our program. So, yeah, there's a ton of momentum right now for the Indiana Hoosiers, and we're just going to keep building off of that.
Now, Coach, how will you approach this bye week here? Is it more of a self-scout week or get healthy week, or you kind of maybe get a jump on that Penn State prep there?
Well, it's a little bit of all of the above. We've the first couple of days we spent working on self-assessment, the self-scouts that you mentioned, and getting our coaches working with our individual players, but then also a big jump on Penn State. But then now we're getting ready to head out to go recruit tomorrow. Our whole staff's going to be out recruiting all across the country to be able to spread, continue the news of the Hoosiers and what we're doing, and just find more guys that fit what we're looking for. So a very, very important bye week for us as we transition here to the final 3 regular season games. We got Penn State, Michigan, and Purdue. So 3 very important games, and we get ready for our bowl game. So it's an exciting time up here for Indiana.
Now, Coach, now how do you go about this in season 4 as the player development piece for your young guys who play the most in scout team, don't really play much in the games? So how do you go about developing those guys, getting those guys stronger mentally and physically, and get ready to play for you come next year in 2021 and 2022 there?
Well, it's really important. And what we do is we have 2 developmental lifts during the week that they get in addition to our normal lift that we have on Mondays. And so what we do is we allow those guys to be able to be with our strength staff 2 additional times on Thursday morning and Friday morning before we practice. And then as well as we get a lot of individual work with those guys on a couple days during the week. And then obviously, as you mentioned, they will be our scout team guys for the most part. Some of those guys are also, maybe third team guys on our offense and defense as well. But they're with this new redshirt rule of playing 4 games, we've been trying to maximize that, give those guys some reps, but still maintain that redshirt year. So we're a big player development team, and that's one of our strengths for sure. And that's why we want to make sure we recruit guys that are great fits with us, have big upside. So when we get them here, we can develop into to high-level Big Ten football players.
Now, Coach, this is something fans don't realize. An important hire, more so than the coordinators are, is that strength coach. That strength coach is going to make those guys stronger, build those bodies up, make them last in the fourth quarter when it gets tight or tough in those cold November games that you guys got coming up there. So people realize that strength and development coach is the one that key hires on any staff, any program.
Yeah, you're exactly correct, and I think that next to your OC, DC guys, I mean, it's the most important guy on your staff, and he spends the most time with them, and his coaches, the guys on our strength staff, will spend more time with our players year-round than any other guys on our team. And so they set the tone for the physical toughness, the mental toughness that you have, as well as the physical strength. And we have one of those guys that's actually a speed specialist that works with our guys, and we're one of the few teams in the entire country that has a speed specialist on our strength staff. So we feel like that we're doing a great job. Dave Ballou is a phenomenal strength coach. He's our head guy, and Dr. Matt Ray is our speed specialist, and those two guys head up that room. And as you mentioned, man, they are the most important guys on our staff in player development, and they're doing a tremendous job right now.
Hey, Coach Allen, best of luck to you against Penn State, man. We'll definitely be watching. Got those Georgia guys on the roster, so makes our listeners even more keen to your team because we love our Georgia boys. So anywhere they go, we love to support our guys here from the ATL for sure. Well,
there's no doubt about it. We appreciate the boys too, and looking forward to continue to go down there and recruit some more of them to get them to come up here and play for IU.
Yes, indeed, Coach B. Have a good one. Have a great bye. We see you. Talk to you real soon. They'll provide a bowl game there.
Awesome, man. That sounds great. It's awesome being on your show. Have a great night, Leo.
Yes, indeed, folks. It's Tom Allen here on the Bossman Show.
My heart skips skipping the beat. You're not close enough, so that space between you and me, let's lose it. The way you're dancing, swaying to the music, girl, that body and how you move it. Every time you cross my mind, girl, I lose it.
Alexa, play the Country Heat playlist. Okay.
I don't think you know what you're doing to me. You got
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
It's maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer.
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Alexa, play Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Okay.
Maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
till the tears run down from my eyes. Lord, somebody, ooh, somebody, can anybody find me? Somebody to love.
Alexa, play hits from Queen.
Okay.
Somebody to love. Somebody.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
I was back in the Bossman Show here with Brad Brownell, the coach of the Clemson Tigers out of the ACC. Coach Brownell, how are things going up there with you guys at Clemson, man?
Yeah, doing great. Off to a pretty good start. Excited to see where the season takes us. And obviously we're right here in the middle of football season, so Coach Sweeney's got the football Tigers rolling, and we're just kind of flying under the radar while those guys continue to take care of business. Hopefully bring home another national title. But a lot of fun with my young team and excited for a season.
Yes, indeed, Coach. You got the 3-1 already. You already beat Detroit, Colgate, Presbyterians, West Virginia Tech, a tough game you had started the year on the 5th. But how you feel for 4 games in about your team so far? How you think they'll be going forward as you go to non-conference playing Alabama A&M? Then you got to play Minnesota team as well, TCU. How you feel about your team going forward now with this break coming up here for Thanksgiving as well?
Yeah, I like our team. We're really young. We're starting 2 freshman guards in the backcourt. One of them, Chase Hunter, right there from Atlanta. And so, there's some growing pains a little bit with young guards, but they're both really talented. He and Alamir Dawes play very well together. I think we have a really bright future with those two guys. We've got 7 new players on our team, so we do have a lot of teaching going on here, and it probably goes a little bit slower than you would like as the head coach, but at the same time, I think it's what we need. And I've got a very coachable group, guys that really want to learn, and obviously playing in the ACC, I think it's the best basketball league in the country, is a tremendous challenge, but I'm excited to see what this team does. I think we're going to be a team that has a chance to really improve because we're so young and we have so many new faces that if we can continue to hang in there and develop and be coachable and work, I think we got a chance to play our best basketball later in the year in February. So we're kind of working through some things. We do have a couple guys that have been hurt. We've got a couple guys coming back from ACL tears that happened this summer, and we're hoping to get them back in December and January and really just give us a little more depth. Right now we're a little thin with only 9 scholarship players eligible to play. But, again, I like this group and excited to see where we go.
Now, Coach, having 7 new guys, how do you go about building that camaraderie with your team, fitting those pieces together, kind of see how it plays out in game action? Because I know you've worked out this summer, you've had preseason practice, but now having game action, you see what combos work together. So how's it been kind of playing chess game to figure out what pieces work best together with 7 new guys on the roster here?
Yeah, I think one thing that really helped us is our team got chosen to represent the United States at the World University Games in Italy this summer. And so we went over there for, it was almost 2.5, 3 weeks. And we got to play 6, 7 games. We came back, we won a gold medal. So played really well, won 6 games over there. And that experience, that playing international style, the FIBA basketball was really good to have a few practices together, to be able to play some different combinations and see how guys fit. I thought that really helped. And most importantly, what that trip did was it brought our guys closer together. A bunch of guys from different backgrounds, different places, hadn't been together in one team. And for those guys to spend 3 weeks together, basically living together over in Italy, was an incredible life experience. And I think our guys, because of that, have grown really close and really like one another and have spent a lot of time together. We've tried to build off of that. But, again, I think that's been a real advantage for us, and something that's given us a little bit of a help this start of the season.
Coach Barnett, what do you feel like your greatest accomplishment is at Clemson, being since 2010, and you leading this program and having this business of coaching? We don't know that it's not the longevity is just rare. How guys get fired every year. Every year the carousel comes. So what's been the key to your longevity? What do you think has been your greatest accomplishment since you've been at Clemson since 2010?
Yeah, well, that's an interesting question. I think, as a young coach, you kind of look for all your big wins and maybe your best season. 2 years ago, we went to the Sweet 16 and won 25 games and had a great year. I think finished 3rd in the ACC and really accomplished a lot, in postseason. We're able to do some things. As much as anything, though, as you get to be a little bit older, you're just really proud of your players. And we've had a couple guys that have been able to go to the NBA, several guys that are playing overseas. We got a few guys in the G League, and to watch guys kind of realize their dreams, to watch, all of my seniors graduate and walk off the stage with a degree from Clemson. I think those are things that you become more proud of as a coach as you get older. It's not just about winning certain games or, 1 or 2 really good seasons, but, just about how you're impacting the young men that choose to come and play for you. And Clemson's a great place. It's a fantastic school where people really care. We talk about the Clemson family over here a great deal, and it's real. We've got a really unique setting in that we've got this great university with 20,000 students in this small college town. And because of that, the individual attention that you really get and the family feel that you get from being on campus is different than most places. And, so just to be a part of that and to be involved in the lives of a lot of really good young men that have achieved a lot, whether it's graduating from Clemson, some of them going on to be good husbands and fathers, and then some guys obviously continuing their basketball careers. I think as a coach, as you get older, that's more of what you appreciate and are proud of, again, than just a few wins or losses.
That's what it's all about, because a key word is student athletes. You go to school, you want to leave with that degree, no matter what you do, because we all love our sports, but
that's right.
Eventually the sport stops, so we have to have something to fall back on. So when I talk to young men myself, I try to tell them, you want to get that degree. That degree sets you up for life. If you have that degree behind your name, you go to a good school like Clemson or Georgia Tech or any of those great schools in the ACC, with Syracuse, you have that degree means you can do something with that degree. That just the brand name alone gets you a job if you use it the right way.
Well, yes, it does. And there's a lot of folks that really want to help you. The strong alumni base, especially in this area, Charlotte, Atlanta, South Carolina, the Southeast region. Clemson has really grown nationally here a little bit lately and are attracting even more and more students from the Northeast and even the Midwest. And I think that degree and that Tiger Paw, we talk about how powerful the Clemson brand is right now. So you get a degree from Clemson, and it's really going to help you in the long run. There's going to be a lot of folks with Clemson Tiger degrees with you, alumni. They're going to try to help you moving forward. So it's really powerful. It's impactful, and I've seen it change the lives of young men as they've come to Clemson. A lot of them didn't know much about it till they got here, and then they leave with a great sense of pride and family. And I think that's what makes Clemson special.
And I think, Coach, it also helps you because I feel like Clemson basketball is a national brand now because you've done a great job since you've been there, going in your 10th year there. You've got the program on the right track. People know about who you do national radio shows as well. So guys know about the Clemson brand. So when you go out and recruit, I know you recruit Georgia. You got 2 guys on the roster. Chase Hunter and Kevon Moore from Macon, Georgia, down here, right in our area. But also outside of the Southeast, I feel like you need guys on the West Coast, Northeast, international guys.
Right.
The Clemson brand, a prep school guy, even or a JUCO guy, if you want to take a JUCO guy, that's really good. So I feel you can get guys 6 different ways because of the brand you've built and the program you've built at Clemson in your years there.
Yeah, it helps having been here now. This is my 10th season at Clemson. And so, that's one thing I'm very proud of is the longevity of being able to be successful here as the coach. And you got to win enough games. You got to do right by your players. You got to graduate players. You got to handle your business with alumni and boosters the right way. And we built a really nice program. We built a really nice culture here. We have outstanding facilities. About 3 years ago, we built a brand new $65 million renovation to our Little John Coliseum and practice facility, the Swan Pavilion. That is first class. And so, again, just having been here a while and helping with the exposure and getting people to campus. I think one of the big things with us, when we've been able to get people to campus, they're surprised at how nice this place is, and they're surprised by they've heard about Clemson and Clemson family, but they're surprised that the facilities on this campus, whether it's athletic, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, whatever it might be, or whether it's academic center, just the quality of facilities on this campus is enough to help attract people from really all over, as you mentioned. And we just signed 2 young men, one from South Carolina, a young man from Canada. So our brand is truly gotten bigger and bigger the longer that I've been here.
Coach, I have a couple more for you, Coach. I want to talk to you about our 2 guys from Georgia on your roster. Chase Hunter, your guard there, you mentioned earlier in the interview here. Talk to us about what he brings to your program. And Kevon Moore from Macon, Georgia, right down the road from us here.
Sure.
Down I-75 here from us.
Yeah, both young men really enjoy coaching them. Chase, fantastic young talent from a terrific family that's extremely athletic and been successful in sports for most of their lives, and Chase is one of those guys that he's played a little bit of both positions, the 1 and the 2 for us. We think he's got a really bright future here. He's a super athlete that just keeps getting better and better with his basketball skills. We're really trying to develop him in his shooting and just his decision making to go along with the way he really defends. He defends well for a young player. Again, he's a terrific athlete that has handled the adjustment to college pretty well, and just a young man that I think is going to be a terrific player here at Clemson for his career. And then Kevon Moore is one of those guys. He's a versatile guy, can play all different kinds of positions. He's a 6'8" forward that handles the ball. He can pass it. His shooting is really starting to improve the longer he's here at Clemson. I think he can defend multiple positions, so he's one of those guys that can play with a lot of different people. Has a good feel for the game, and he's a guy that unfortunately his senior year in high school broke his leg and had a pretty severe injury. Went to Texas Tech as a freshman and then transferred here to Clemson and is playing for us and really just kind of trying to get healthy. And I think here recently he started to look like a guy that's starting to get his bounce back and get his legs under him because of the injury. But really pleased with the way he's progressing as a player and really excited about having both those guys on our team.
Final one I got for you, Coach, is this. I like to ask Coach this question here. Who have been some coaches and individuals who really helped you, Coach Brownell, mold you in your career? Some guys you kind of reach out to when you got a question or when you got an issue. Who are those guys who really helped you out in your career all these years you've been coaching in college basketball here?
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that you still kind of touch base with. One guy that a lot of folks will know, Mark Fox at Georgia, and he and I are still really good friends. His son, ironically, is a walk-on my program and my team, and so I still talk to Mark, almost every week. We became friends when he was at Georgia and I was at Clemson. We recruited against each other, coached against each other. He's a Midwest guy from Kansas. I'm from Indiana, so we got to know each other well and have maintained a really good friendship. So we bounce ideas off each other. I was very blessed. I played for a coach by the name of Royce Waltman, who was an assistant coach at Indiana for Coach Knight. And so he was a guy that I learned a lot from growing up as a young coach in college. And my father was a high school coach back in Indiana. And so I was very blessed to learn the game at a young age from some really good teachers. And that really set me off on a good path in terms of coaching. And so I've just been very fortunate to work and play for some good coaches and certainly have a lot of friends in the business that I share ideas with now that I've been doing this, since I was 22 years old. I'm 51. So I've been almost 30 years coaching and just really have been blessed to have the opportunity to work at some very good universities and excited about, my 10th year here at Clemson.
Coach Brownell, it's been good to try and get you on the show. I'm so happy to talk to you. I told you off the air, Rick Ray speaks greatly of you. He and I are real good friends, so I want to have you on the show for sure. I love the work you're doing with your program. Look forward to. Hopefully, I see you when you guys play Georgia Tech. Hopefully, I see you then.
Sounds
you
good.
Play at the man McCamish there.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate it. Good to be on with you guys, and we'll talk again soon. Take care.
All right, Coach. Have a great night. Talk to you real soon now.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting or Twitter at Coach TWill24 or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
All right, back on the Bossman Show here with Kevin McGee, the coach of the Campbell Fighting Campbells, here with us on the Bossman Show. Coach, how things over in North Carolina, man?
Hey, great to be on. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, also how things over in North Carolina today, Coach? How's practice today? Did you all get a good workout today?
Yeah, everything was good. We had a very good practice. We're in between here this week, so we had a game Saturday. We don't play again until next Monday, so it's one of those weeks where we're take a couple days to get some rest in as well, and then work on special situations and kind of fine tuning things and maybe implementing a few things on both sides of the ball while we don't have to prepare for a game till later in the week. So.
Yes, indeed. Now, Coach, you begin year 7 here, leading the Fighting Camels. What do you feel is your biggest accomplishment since you got the job in 2013 with the program so far?
I'm very proud of the program that we've built. I think this is a really exciting year because we just came off a 3-year run where we went to 3 straight postseasons and won the conference last year, and it was a great run. We had some really, really good players that graduated, and now we're on to a new challenge with some young guys and a mix of sort of experience and new players, and it's been fun working with them and trying to figure it out. So I think every year is different, and I think when you get a chance to mold a team and a very different group than we've ever had, it's really a great challenge and exciting opportunity.
Now, Coach, you had a 20-year win season last year, so what did you and your staff prioritize as you went in the offseason this season? Come off a 20-win season, did you want to maybe get better defensively, offensively, get the young guys a little bit better? So what did y'all kind of prioritize knowing you had a 20-win season last year?
Well, like I said, it's such a different team. We graduated the third leading scorer all time in NCAA history, and another senior who was, basically an all-conference level player. So tons of experience. So we lost, and so there's a lot of new faces in the program. So I think we're always striving to be a little bit better. But in this year in particular, we're going to be just so very unique to us because we had so much production and output come from those two guys the last 3 years, as we had great success those 3 years. So I think both sides of the ball, we kind of probably figured we were going to have to be we're going to have to be better defensively in order to sort of offset the fact that we didn't have all that scoring coming back. And I've been pleased. I think we're making strides. We play fast. We play in transition whenever possible. We press. Last year we pressed third most in the entire country. And so there's a lot of really good things to build on. And yet when you have, different guys in different roles, it's going to feel and look different. And we're kind of learning that now. And it's been a fun and exciting challenge.
Yes, indeed, Coach. And I know it's going to be fun for you as well because, like you said, trying to figure out the new pieces you have to play with, how to make them all mesh together, and finally send them an actual live game actually kind of helps you determine, like, what your rotations, what guys play well together in a game scenario rather than just in practice or in an open gym setting.
Yeah, for sure. It's we had an opportunity to go to Argentina for 10 days in August, and that was a little bit of a jump start on that process because we got to put the pieces together. The freshman players are able to come on that trip, and the new transfers and things like that. And so that gave us just a running start on it to try to see how the pieces fit together. And I think we're real unique right now. We have a very, very deep team, which I've never played this many guys before, and it's kind of a cool thing because the guys are really pulling for each other, celebrating each other's successes, and we're just talking about this mentality of like, you're going to play in 4 or 5 minute stretches, go out there and empty your tank, and then let the next guy do the same. And it's been refreshing, and I'm not sure. I think it's working for us right now, and I'm hoping that we can continue to do it this style. I think we have 10 players that average 10 minutes or more, and we've played 13 players in 3 games and 12 in all 4. So we really are utilizing the bench like nobody does, and it's been really neat. It's a cool group to work with right now, and to try to learn how to be winners.
Yeah, that'll be fun. You're gonna play my role, empty your tank, do what you gotta do, defend like crazy, execute the offense. Cut the other guy. I think that'll be fun. It's kind of reminds me of hockey almost, having a different line, different rotations of the hockey almost.
Yeah, and the hardest thing is just figuring out how to do it from my end, and the coaching staff trying to figure out how to make those rotations happen and not have it feel exactly like a hockey change where you got 5 straight new. You could try to keep some continuity on the court, maybe some experience, but when we're learning as we go. But it's been good so far. I'm excited to see what kind of shape it will take and what our team will take as the season goes along.
Now, Coach, you've been good the past few years here, Coach. I know it's helped you boost in recruiting for Campbell as well, having a guy go to the NBA as well, and the senior playing well. So do you feel like the recruiting really helps you guys, and that you can get guys who are high school seniors? You can get a JUCO guy, a prep school kid, a transfer, sit one, play 2 or 3 for your grad transfer, or even a national kid, because you've all been good for the last few years, and you have a brand now. Campbell has good basketball there.
I definitely think that there's an impact, and we're a more known entity now. Probably before Chris Clemens and the success we had recently, I would say most people outside of the state of North Carolina probably had no idea where Campbell was, or that we even had athletics or what have you. And so there's definitely a more recognizable brand in what we are. And I think in the recruiting, that oftentimes will get the foot in the door. And I think, sometimes that leads to a kid that decides to come. I'd say it probably has helped us some so far. I think there's also a cautionary tale in being careful not to lose who you are and how you got there. We've recruited really well, besides Chris, and we've recruited because we've found kids that want to be at Campbell, that want to be a part of our program, that want to get better, that are about the right things. They're good students, and that model has worked. And I've seen too many times where, because you can put yourself in front of a recruit that maybe has an extra star next to his name, or something like that, sometimes it leads to that, getting a really good player, and sometimes it can also lead to you being involved with kids that don't end up coming. And sometimes you miss on the next round of guys that you should have been on because you put a lot of energy into that. And so I think you just have to be careful when you go about it to make sure you're staying with your mission and staying with your plan as far as getting the kids that fit and the kids that want to be there and are going to help you build your program. Because the stars next to the name don't mean all that much in the end. It's about the guys that want to get better and have the ability to get better. And then they really do take off when they get with us. So.
And Coach, you have 2 guys right here in Georgia on your roster. One, Messiah Thompson, a kid out of North Atlanta here, and also have a young man down from Americus, Georgia, down there in Joshua Lusain. So talk about those 2 young men who you brought to your team and what they're going to bring to you this year.
Yeah, they're both really good players. I'm excited about them. We've had a lot of success. Talking about Messiah, we've had a lot of success with small guards. Back to my time at Richmond, we've had, many, many good players. Kevin Anderson was a player of the year in the Atlantic 10 out of Atlanta also. But he was 5'10", and Kendall Anthony and Cedric Lindsay, and we just had a lot of really good small guys at Richmond. And then when we got to Campbell, I just was blown away by Chris when I saw him, and he did not disappoint. And so I think some people are a little afraid of having a smaller player, and I'm not. I think Messiah's a terrific player. He's a great passer. He's got a great heart, plays with great energy. There's some things that we're working on still that he's going to need to add to his game to be really, really good in college, but he's got a lot to work with. And I just think he falls in line because, a lot of times people are afraid, he's too small to play Division I and all that kind of stuff. I don't believe that, because those guys have the ball in their hands from when they're little, and they have to make decisions. Mm-hmm. So, when they're 9 and 10, they're decision makers, and they're ball handlers, and they're shot makers. That doesn't go anywhere, so he just maybe has to shoot a different shot, or, shoot it from a step further back, or figure out a float game instead of a traditional pull-up. Usually the little guys figure it out, and they figure it out well. And I think Messiah falls right in line with those guys and some of the things that they've done. I think he's driven to be successful, and I think he'll be a terrific player for us in the end. Josh has really, really impressed me. We signed him late in the spring, and I've just been super impressed with his work ethic. His understanding of the game is better than I even thought when we recruited him. He's a terrific passer. He's doing a really nice job of understanding what we're doing and trying to figure it out. Both of them have contributed and been a part of, we're 3-1 at this point, and they've been a part of every game, every game so far. So I'm pleased with their progress, and obviously a long way to go in a college career, but I think they're in very good spots as we sit right here.
I got a couple more for you here, Coach. Looking at your schedule outside the Big South, I see some quality mid-major matchups this non-conference season. So I know probably scheduling is your biggest headache probably you have. And I know with you guys being good, guys don't want to come and play you at Campbell. It's hard to get guys to play you guys, with you guys being good. So can you talk about how tough it is to schedule, but also talk about how the schedule you have, the quality mid-major matchups that you do have, and how does it help the Campbell brand as well when you play these non-conference games?
Yeah, I mean, scheduling is a tricky game, and I think people that don't follow it closely or have never coached don't really understand how much more complicated it is than it appears. Everybody's trying to schedule to win, and like you said, we definitely got we're able to. People were answering our calls a little more when they knew Clemens was graduating, but. It's not an easy matrix to figure out how to, set it up so that you're, playing quality opponents. And, oftentimes, higher level conferences won't come to you. So, you're playing those road games. And I think it's good in a lot of ways because it tests you and gets you ready for Big South play. We've played 3 road games already, and we're 2-1 in those road games and all those conference. That's the Sun Belt, that's a CAA, and that's a Southern Conference opponents. Those are good quality opponents. And I think there's something to trying to figure out how to get a good schedule where you can win some games, but also challenge yourself and get yourself ready for Big South play. And we got a couple good ones. We've got a very good regional feel to our schedule this year. We've already played Coastal Carolina and Wilmington and the Citadel, but we play Elon, we play East Carolina, we play a lot of good, solid games within our region, which I think is exciting for our fan base because, they're familiar with these teams, They have brothers that went to East Carolina or, aunts that went to Elon, and those games mean a little more when there's a little bit of regional flavor to them. So.
Yes, indeed. And, Coach, the last one I got for you is this. Who are some coaches individuals that really meant a lot to you and had a great impact on you in your coaching career so far?
Well, I mean, the biggest influence in my career has been Coach Chris Mooney, who's the head coach at the University of Richmond. He and I started coaching together back in high school in 1996. And we coached together for a couple years in high school, and then we coached Division III together in the Philadelphia area. And then he went on to be an assistant at the Air Force Academy. And then he brought me out there when he became the head coach at the Air Force Academy. And then to the University of Richmond, and that has brought me to my opportunity at Campbell. But we coached together from our very beginning time coaching. So a lot of our philosophy and development, the way we think about player development in the game and X's and O's was influenced by him and just been a great mentor, friend, and he's been the biggest influence on my career by far.
Well, Coach McGinn, good to catch up with you. I'm looking forward to watching your team this year and see what you guys do. And if you're ever in Atlanta recruiting some more good kids, let us know. Love to have you come in the studio here in Midtown Atlanta with us sometime as well.
Sounds great. We'd love to do it.
Hey, Coach, have a great day. Talk to you real soon now.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
All right, it's Kevin McGinn on the Bossman Show.
Did you hear the news? Metro PCS is now Metro by T-Mobile. Now you get new plans with unlimited high-speed data all month long, all on the T-Mobile network. Check out the new Metro by T-Mobile today and discover the smarter way to get unlimited. Metro by T-Mobile. That's genius. During congestion, the fraction of customers using greater than 35 gigs per month may notice reduced speeds, and Metro customers may notice reduced speeds versus some T-Mobile customers. Video streams at 480p. Coverage not available in some areas. See store for details and terms and conditions.
Folks, back in the Joe the Bossman show, going to talk to you with special guests. You know, Jim Rome has the clones, but Mike Florio has the PFTPM posse. So I'm joined by the leader of the posse. We're going to call him Posse for the show purposes. My man with me here. I'm now part of the posse as well. What's up, my man? How you doing with the PFTPM posse, the head man himself? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great today, JR. I really appreciate you having me on. And, it's Friday afternoon. Just got done submitting all the questions and everything for the PFTPM podcast today, which on Fridays it's a questions-only edition. So finish that up and, looking forward to a weekend.
Yes, indeed. Let me ask you this. How did you form the PFTPM posse? How did it all just come about for the posse and with working with Florio and the PFT live crew there?
So, it actually happened, kind of by chance. So I've been following Florio on Pro Football Talk since the early 2000s, within the first year or two of him starting. So I've listened to all of the radio shows that he's done on the internet, his PFT Live on NBC Sports, the podcast. So I've been a long-time fan of his and really enjoy the way that he aggregates news. Well, he has the PFTPM podcast he was doing, and actually the week of April 17th was the first day officially of the posse formation. The week before that, Florio was talking about quitting doing the podcast. And I was like, no, we can't have that. Like, this is our best time to interact with him and find out personal stuff, get our questions answered. And so I went and I started thinking about, a name, to try and call it. Because I was like, I'm going to get these guys that I know are regulars that we all ask questions all the time and get them to join up and let's get him to stop doing it, or to keep doing it, I mean. And one day later, we had a record number of questions, and it took off, and Florio, under threat of having a mob show up at his house and burn it down for stopping doing the podcast, is now made it a regular part of his week.
Yes, indeed. I enjoy because on the Picture Film podcast, he can be more just Florio. He doesn't be so buttoned up as he is on NBC Sports, of course. He can just drop F-bombs and drop bombs if he wants to. Say stuff he wouldn't say on PFT Live. So I love Florio's takes. I love how he breaks stuff down from a lawyer's perspective. That he's taught me a lot just by reading how he breaks down legal stuff. And I use him as a source for my show here and stories I want to talk about, because I know if it's on PFT, it's real stuff. It's not some fake stuff.
Yeah, and not only that does he, break things down in layman's terms, and he uses that law background and knows how to talk because he used to represent, the normal, regular people against big corporations. So he knows how to break it down really well. And what I really love about it is that he will give both sides or all sides of the story or multiple sides of it. He doesn't serve, that corporate master, essentially. He has full control on it, and he gets calls and he talks about it from the league office, from teams that, don't like what he wrote or why he wrote it and come down on him. But I really like his way that he touches it from all sides.
Now, I'm going to say, I came across Florio in 2010. Of all places, the Stephen A. Smith show on Fox Sports Radio is when I came across Florio. That's when I first found about him. And it's crazy how now Florio and him don't see eye to eye on nothing. Florio calls him an idiot. And Stephen A. Smith said, will you please make a damn story? But it's funny how it just changed. Like 9 years ago, Florio's on his show. That's how I found out about the guy. Listen to him on Fox Sports Radio in the morning time. So it's crazy how you matriculate through his business, how you lose people you began with. And same with Whitlock used to come on PFT. He had him on his podcast, but he's don't do it with women anymore. So it's like, just seeing how Florio's on the right side of history on a lot of different things. Because Stephen A. Smith to me and Whitlock to me as an African American guy in the media is an embarrassment to me. They're embarrassing. You're making it bad for me coming up in my 30s because you how y'all act, So it's like
I can understand that.
That's not who JR is. I'm gonna call it what it is. Truth, just facts is facts. That's how I believe it on my show. That's how I believe it. That's how I like Florio, because it's facts are facts, and the posse supports him like no other, which I love about you guys. How you all have his back no matter what.
Yeah, thank you. We always do have his back, even though it's funny because we do go at him sometimes and we disagree. And one of the main reasons why Florio decided to keep doing the podcast was he realized that we were inadvertently, with our questions, making him think about things differently. We were giving him new ideas at times, and he was talking about how a lot of the questions that we were posing and the ideas that we were talking about, he was turning those into articles on the website, segments on the TV show, on the radio show, his little video segments that they do on, on the website, the little video segments. All of that was being populated by the content that we were giving him. So he was getting it. It was actually benefiting him more than just with the PFTP and podcast part of it.
Got there right. I want to ask you about this. Florio's been on this topic a lot this week, the Colin Kaepernick situation.
Mm-hmm.
My take of it is this. I'm here in Atlanta. I wanted to go to the workout, but things got jumbled up where I couldn't get there to get out there to see the workout last Saturday. But knowing what I know from Florio posted, I wouldn't sign away my rights either to sue because we know you pleaded against me. We settled a settlement before we went to full discovery, so I know that already. So, and I know I don't trust you. You don't trust me. I see you trying to, I think like for instance, Jeff Pash tried to, get a broad sweeping waiver for Kaepernick, so he couldn't sue him again. NFL's, sham workout. Because this is my thing. You and I both know workouts in the NFL are done on Mondays or Tuesdays, and sometimes on Wednesday. This is a Saturday. You're given a location out of Atlanta, not somewhere central like Dallas or Houston, Atlanta. We're on the eastern side of the country, so make everybody come there. And then you strong arm the back channel and say, "Hey, can y'all have somebody there?" And say we gave them a workout. It's all a sham to me, Posse. Is that that trying to get the man sign a waiver that's blanket, take away all his rights, set up a workout on Saturday, and you're trying to give Jay-Z some cover. And Jay-Z, you say 1 minute you're a cap, next minute you're getting money from him. But Jay-Z, what I call he's a capitalist. He's a capitalist. He's about money. It's Stephen A. Smith, about money. We're like about money. They're not for the people per se. So I just feel like Florio did a great job giving the truth, not allowing people like Whitlock and Smith to muddy the narrative that Florio nailed for us on Sunday there.
Yeah, that whole workout was a sham. It was supposedly a lot of people were saying that it was credible people were saying that it was the entire workout was cooked up by Jeff Pash, the NFL's counsel, behind the scenes as a way to get that waiver signed, which would like you said potentially give them or take away Kaepernick's ability to ever have any kind of legal recourse against them whatsoever. It was a sham from the beginning by only giving him 2 hours to accept the workout to making it on a Saturday. I think we all know that the only day of the week that they could have chosen that would have been worse than Saturday would have been Sunday. They literally gave him the second worst day of the week to do it on. They tried to ram it through. It was never being taken seriously. It's been proven that the teams were colluding because Ian Rappaport reported that teams are calling the league office about Kaepernick, which is why the league office supposedly went forward with the workout. So if the teams are calling first to make sure it's okay, then it's obvious that they're working, together, and it's a sham to keep him out of the league still.
Exactly, and the NFL doing what the NFL does, always just playing tricks. Like this is my thing about it. How do you suspend Ezekiel Elliott but not suspend Tyreek Hill? It's like psycho. You know what I'm saying? It's like
I'm as a Cowboys fan. That was horrible, and that was another example. And thankfully the commissioner is going to be. I would say thankfully the commissioner is going to be gone, but I don't know. The next puppet is probably going to be just as bad, but maybe he'll have a different way of handling the owners. Because it's been shown that the NFL comes to a conclusion at 345 Park Avenue, and then they work backwards, only admitting or finding the evidence that fits their narrative or fits their story, a lot of times spending millions of dollars on the sham investigations. We saw it with Bountygate. Mm-hmm. We saw it with Deflategate. I'm sorry, if at the absolute worst, Deflategate should have been like a minor fine or whatever, just like those players a couple of years ago, not that many years ago, got caught with the stickum on their jerseys that the receivers were using. And what was it? Just a quarterback got busted with a towel that had something on it too on the sidelines a couple of years ago. It's an equipment violation. Big deal. The NFL changes every rule in the book to make it advantageous to a quarterback, to make it advantageous to offense and scoring. And you're going to get pissed off over maybe a couple of balls that were deflated. That science proves that balls were deflated in the cold weather outside, and there wasn't the same needle used to test. And Mortensen got involved in a bad way by leaking out factual information from the league office. Yeah, I mean, the commissioners made the NFL front office look, to me, almost as humble and almost as inept as the current government. It's laughable. They try and do.
It's hilarious, and
I mean, it is a joke. But yeah, that's why the NFL commissioner is hoping to set down as soon as the next TV negotiations are done. And I'm really hoping that they can install somebody more like the policy boot type that tries to work behind the scenes to get a resolution that's best for everybody, not look good or anything that does for good purposes. And ever since Goodell had that Time magazine cover with the enforcer on it and all that, it's been just a joke. That's the way they ran through, and the players have zero rights. We've got no rights whatsoever. It's hard to give up anything negotiating to get the rights because it affects the smart players.
You got that right. I fight this policy is that eventually NFP will do their job saying for Goodell. I don't know what you give up in negotiation to get what you need, get you what you need to get him kind of neuter him a little bit. But it's just wild and crazy. I think that's just a big machine. All it's about PR. It's all about spin. And Florio points out something good. If it comes from the NFL media, it's the NFL reporting that. Because they work for the NFL media does. And ESPN, I'm sure they work for the NFL. If ESPN NFL media. CBS Sports Houses, locker 4 hours zone. It's not as in bed with them, but it comes from Airport or Garofalo or Pelissero or Schefter or Mortensen. They're in bed with the NFL. That's the NFL reporting that to them. Somebody leaked it to them for them. Florida does a great job pointing it out there. The NFL is reporting this, not the NFL media. That's the NFL reporting it because that's who's saying this is going on.
Even Albert Breer, who was with NLB for a long time before he joined the NMQB at SI. With Peter King, and he even said that one of the first things he did for the NMQB was talking about how there were so many stories he was told that he couldn't report on, that they had talking points sent down, like if you're going to talk about this story, only mention A, B, C, and D, avoid these 3 things and don't talk about that because negative to an owner or something, blah blah. It's like they're getting these orders from the NFL. Roger Goodell signs Ian Rappaport's check. There is an obvious conflict of interest, and sometimes Rappaport, he has admitted that there is a little bit of a conflict of interest, and he understands it, and he acts with, as much journalistic integrity as he. But, again, we all serve a master, so he can only say so much, and once he finally does decide to leave and take a big money contract, with an independent somewhere else, another organization, I think we'll hear a lot about.
Indeed. Well, look, man, it's been good talk. Catch up with your posse. I'll do this again, man. And tell the other members of the posse, support the Bossman Show. I'm with you guys. I'm with what you guys got going on. I love Florida. I love the site. I love what you all got going on. Anytime you want to come and talk football with me, any of you all are welcome on the show anytime to come and talk with me about some football.
Yeah, absolutely. I really appreciate you having me on, and appreciate you being part of the posse. And I'm questions answered today by Florio, so everybody should tune in to the PFT PM podcast. Like I said, it started off as he did nothing and got nothing for it. And we've grown it enough where he does even have paid sponsors and things like that. So that's finally one of the reasons we told him that he keeps doing it, because he's making some money off of it. I'd love to come back on anytime. Always loving football, love talking anything.
All right, now that's my man, leader of the 15 PM posse here on the Bossman Show.